Good afternoon, Meghann and Corey. This is Chris with Savvy Pants Shop. We're here to do a little bit of a, we don't have a title yet, but we're going to call it something like, hey, did you know? Kind of a thing. And we've got Meghann and Corey with us, and we're going to, Meghann and Corey, I've got a chance to know over, guys, is it like a few years now? Yeah. Like a few years I've gotten to know these guys, and Kirsten have gotten to know them as well. And they are, number one, they're fantastic people. They've got a great heart, and they're super, super smart. I got to know them on a business sense as well. And they own a studio in DTC-ish, Centennial?
Yep. Centennial. Yeah.
Centennial, Colorado. And they are experts in the health and fitness world in Colorado, and got to know them on a business sense, and they're exceptionally good at what they do. So in this series of Hey, Did You Know? I thought, man, these guys have some great information. In the contact or in the description below, I'm going to include all their contact information. So if anybody has any questions or would like to get in touch with Meghann and Corey, they have taken 2018 by storm. They're taking off in their studio. Hopefully they would have time for you if you have any questions, but definitely reach out to them if you do. But one of the things I thought would be a great question was, hey, I'm interested in personal training, or I'm interested in health and nutrition. I need to start somewhere. Where do I start? And I thought, hey, Meghann and Corey would have a unique perspective on this because this is their living. They do exceptionally well at it. So I thought I would ask, hey, Meghann and Corey, I'm interested in health, fitness, wellness. Where do I start? How do I find a trainer? Where do I even go?
Yeah. Awesome. Perfect. So a little bit of background of, Chris did a great job teeing us up there. Thank you so much for inviting us. And we adore Chris and Kirsten. And Chris was a huge part of our growth and success. So we are forever grateful to you, sir.
The pleasure is mine.
So we started Trivida about 4.5 years ago. We integrate functional medicine, personal training, and nutrition. A little bit of background. So Corey here, he's the brains behind the business. I'm just the mouth.
You're all the brains.
He had a background in athletic training, worked in professional sports, professional football. And what he noticed was that athletes don't stop training when they get injured. Their job, they have to rehab that injury, but their job really is to continue training the rest of their body so that the second that injury is healed and cleared, they can get back on the field. Their job is their game, it's their life, it's everything to them, and so they have to be ready to get back out there. So Corey's job as the athletic trainer was to get them rehabbed, focus on that, but also make sure that they were staying healthy in the rest of their body. He chose after that to go on to back to school, completed a master's in medicine and became a physician assistant, and spent a lot of time in urgent care, emergency medicine, family practice, and realized that there was an interesting factor in life, our game of life, if you will, that when we're stressed or when we're tired or sick, we're not really good at taking care of ourselves so that the second that whatever's going on, we get back out there. So he had this brilliant idea of Trivida, where he would combine medicine, personal training or fitness, and nutrition, all under one roof, all comprehensive for the clients. We met about 4.5 years ago on eHarmony, and so eHarmony. And he was telling me on our first date about this idea of Trivida, and I was like, you got to do this. The world needs this, and it's really special. I happen to have a business marketing background. I have no health background.
So Corey hooked you with the dream, huh? Is that what I just heard there?
Yeah, he hooked us with the dream. So we started dating, and 2 months later we started a business together. So we were crazy, insane in love, I guess you could call it. But 4.5 years later, we are married and successful in business and life and relationships. So it's all... yeah.
That's awesome. You guys are awesome.
So talking a little bit about how to get started on a health journey. The biggest thing I think that we work with our clients on, or anybody who contacts us about wanting to get started, is I need to know what you want to achieve. What's your goal when you're talking about, I want to get, like, in your mind, you want to be a fitness competitor, like Chris here with those amazing photos we saw.
You're all photoshopped.
Or do you just want to live a healthier lifestyle? Do you want to be more active for your kids or your family? Do you want sexy arms so you can show off your Lularoe?
There you go. I would pose, but it wouldn't be a good example.
So you need to know what your goal is, because without a goal, we can't track your success. And when you're not tracking your success, it's going to be really difficult to know whether you're achieving it. When you're investing in your health and wellness, you want to know that you're getting to where you want to go. You need to have measurements. We call them SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, trackable, relevant.
There you go. I'm like, I know what these are. Hold on. Wait.
Missing a letter. I'm smart.
They're SMAT goals.
So is it specific? Like, I want to lose 20 pounds. Is that attainable, or measurable? Is that measurable? Absolutely. We can see how we measure it. Is it attainable? Probably. 20 pounds isn't a lot. That's definitely attainable for most people. You got to have a coach or a guide to help you get there maybe. But it's absolutely attainable. Relevant to you, I don't know. If you're 110 pounds, you probably don't want to lose 20 pounds. But if you're 170 pounds, 20 pounds might be the perfect amount of weight to get you just to where you feel comfortable and confident and you have all the energy you need. Is it trackable? Absolutely. We can definitely track where we're going. We can see that progress. We can track when it's going well. We can track when it's not going well. And then you can adjust the program to make sure that it's going well.
So kind of when you like, is it specific, measurable? The difference between saying I want to lose 20 pounds in 90 days versus, God, I want to look good.
Right. Absolutely.
What does that mean? You need to define what I want to look good or I want to feel better.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people are like, I want to be fit and healthy. I want to be skinny. Well, that in our mind is different than what could be in the person that comes in after you. Really knowing what aesthetic, if it's aesthetics that you're looking for, what aesthetic are you looking for? Do you want a six pack? Do you just want to fit into your size 8 jeans again? You want to feel comfortable in your clothes. Everybody has a different goal, and I am never one to tell somebody what their goal should be. They need to tell me, because I'm the guide. I'm here to help you achieve that goal. But I can't tell you what you should think or what you should want to do. We are very much a body positive studio and space, in the sense that if you don't want to be a size 10 or a size 12 or a size 2, I don't care what size. I don't care what you look like on the outside, as long as you're healthy on the inside.
Yeah.
You come to me and you're like, I'm a 10 now and I want to be a 2. I'm going to tell you, for us, we're probably not the right trainers for you, because that's not the type of training I do. I don't get people in physique shape.
Right.
But if you are a size 12 and you're like, I just want to be healthy, I'm feeling tired and I can't keep up with my kids and, I'm grumpy all the time, then I'm going to be like, awesome. I got a lot of ideas, and let's set some specific goals so that we can start measuring that you're feeling.
Yeah, totally makes sense. So when you if I want to go out and find I want to start my journey on health, wellness, fitness, whatever, questions to ask, and I think and I know you guys do a phenomenal job at this when you're interviewing clients. If you're talking to a personal trainer and their first, if the conversation lasts like 2 minutes and they want to sign you up, what do you think about that? I'm
not here to judge anybody.
What's that?
Not here to judge anybody. So if there's a trainer out there that can assess you in 2 minutes and know exactly what to do, then he's amazing. He's probably a celebrity trainer and really expensive. I don't know. I would definitely ask questions. Just as much as the trainer should be interviewing you to find out if you're a good fit for that trainer, you should interview them. You're about to invest. So personal training is an investment. If personal training isn't an investment that you're comfortable with, there's a lot of options in the group fitness world that I think these are still important questions that you could take across any kind of, whether you're looking at an Orange Theory or classes or cycle classes, like all of these things are important questions to think through when you're trying to select what type of exercise you're going to do. But specifically, if you're talking to a trainer or somebody who's introducing you to a studio, these are great questions to ask. So that way you know if this is going to align, the philosophies are going to align, and they can support you in the way that you need to support it. So, so a lot of times I will ask and I am a personal trainer, but I also have a personal trainer. So I have interviewed personal trainers before for myself, because you gotta have coaches. We have to have coaches just as much as anybody else. So a lot of times I ask them, what is your typical client? So do you want to talk a little bit about what that means? Like, what would a typical client, what could some different typical clients be?
For us or for?
No, for just like any trainer. Like, what are different, how do they niche themselves?
Yeah, so I mean, each trainer should have their own specialty, right? If a trainer says he can do anything or train anybody, I'd be a little leery of that. Maybe they could, but again, every trainer, every person should have their own specialty. Can you train, could a trainer potentially train a person out of a wheelchair? For example, our niche is not figure competitors. We are more medically based, in the sense of people with injuries or people with metabolic conditions that need personal training that maybe your average gym couldn't handle without a medical background. So, I mean, yeah, what their main focus is. Do they work with people who are looking to be professional athletes, or do they work with people who are just trying to better themselves at whatever their game is? Life or some professional game?
Because there are trainers that are going to specialize in high school athletes.
Right.
And then when you get into like bodybuilding, fitness, and figure, that's an entirely different mindset that they're going to be dealing with on a regular basis. And a lot of things, I think, and that's a big point why I wanted to bring you guys on in the first place, is the medical component of what you guys do. And we know a lot of folks that are like, hey, I would definitely go and start working out today, but I have this certain circumstances, medical condition that's holding me back. So maybe can you kind of point out the differences, like the medical background that you guys have and how that helps and assists people to get to where they want to go? And it's not necessarily an impediment to health and fitness, but you probably have to seek somebody that has a little bit of experience in that.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So we focus on 5 pillars, is what we call it, 5 pillars of health. The first pillar being actually looking at you from the inside. Doesn't matter how good you look on the outside. If the inside is dysfunctional, the outside is eventually going to become dysfunctional too. You can't put a Ferrari body on top of a Honda and expect. That's the analogy I used to use. Right? So that's our biggest thing. The first thing we do with all of our clients is really look at the medical perspective, do blood work, do any tests that we need to do to really assess their internal workings, to make sure that they're not going to run into any, I call it metabolic roadblocks, in the sense of trying to lose weight or trying to gain muscle. So that they don't get, either get hurt for one, or too disappointed when they're not getting the results they need, because their physiological makeup is not made to do this, and we need to fix that first. So that's kind of the first thing we look at. And then second, when we do get you into a fitness program, which is very important, is it safe for you? And making sure that you can physically do whatever it is we're asking you to do. And if you can't, we need to modify. We need to make sure you can do some type of physical activity, whether that be sitting in a chair and just doing very basic motions, or if you're capable doing very dynamic motions. We need to build a fitness program that's right for you and your. make sure.
Just on that real quick, I think modifications is something that's really important to ask anybody about, whether it's a group fitness class, a trainer. How do they modify? If you have bad knees, you need to understand what the options are for you with bad knees. If you have a rotator cuff issue, what do you do when the workout is this? Then how do you modify? How are they going to help you when they want you to do this motion and you can't do it?
And there's always an answer. So don't think because I have this issue, I can't work out. Absolutely you can. There's always a way around an issue. Always. I work with people who are quadriplegics and still worked out with them. So and they can still work out.
So say I'm in Seattle, Washington, and there's no way I can train on a regular basis with Meghann and Corey. But if I'm in Seattle and I want to talk to somebody, is there a credential, a certification, what's the, like, without saying, hey, how do you deal with a rotator cuff? And they go, is that on a car? Is that a CD boot? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, we'll train you. It's fine. We train everyone here. How would I start narrowing down my search if I had some of those conditions that I wanted to?
Yeah, credentials are really interesting and kind of tricky in personal training, right? So there's everybody from the person like Corey, who has a degree in sports medicine, somebody who has a degree in exercise science, who went to college for exercise science and has a 4-year degree or a Bachelor of Science, all the way to somebody who did a certification, whether it's through a company like NASM, American College of Sports Medicine, ACSM. There's a lot of different certifying bodies out there. Excuse me. Some of those certifying bodies require more experience, more continuing education, and some of them they could essentially get them online in a weekend.
And to be transparent, I actually did that in Colorado years ago. It was a Saturday, Sunday course. You go for 8 hours a day, and then you take an exam that's somewhat, it's helpful test taking, where if you have a question about something, you might be able to ask the question, and you're technically certified as a personal trainer. So I can attest that you can literally get certified in a weekend and you are a personal trainer. So
absolutely. So I have met wonderful trainers that have gone the NASM or the ACSM or, just getting certified that don't have a degree in any kind of exercise science or sports medicine. I've also, worked with both of our trainers here have bachelors of science in sports medicine and exercise medicine, or exercise science. So we pull from a higher caliber because we're dealing more with a medically guided and injuries and things like that. I think the biggest thing to ask your trainer is, what do they do for continuing education? If there's no continuing education requirement within their certification, then what's to say that they didn't just do a weekend and then they're teaching people how to do bicep curls? They could probably be great at doing bicep curls, but they aren't going to be able to help you really get to those goals. They don't know the science to really get you where you need to go. But if they're a trainer that's constantly doing continuing education course, they go to certifications all the time, whether it's like Strong First with kettlebells, or they do different things within NASM and ACSM and ACE are kind of the 3 big governing bodies of what I would recommend for personal training certifications. They have a lot of continuing education. Corey has done exercises medicine courses. He's done extensive personal, different types. They have niche personal training. So how to train somebody in their, 55 plus, how to deal with elderly people in personal training. There's, how to train knee injuries. There's all these different classes that they can take. So ask them how they continue to educate themselves and what their requirements are for their certification. That's going to give you a really good idea. All the good ones are going to require that they do continuing education to maintain their certification.
Yep.
That's what I would look for.
Gotcha. And I think one of the things that we've talked about this before, kind of prior to this call and at different times, is people that if you've misaligned yourself with a trainer or a nutrition program or a fitness routine, it doesn't work, and then they try it, someone tries it, and I've heard this in my family before, like, oh, I tried that for 20 some days and I got no results, it didn't work. Fitness just isn't my thing.
Right.
So when you do that interviewing process, when you're trying to find the right program, do you guys find that and I know that you guys have turned away clients on a regular basis, like, hey, this is not, and the reason you want to tell us why you want to find someone that was willing to turn you away. Does that make sense? Like, why do you not want people to work out with you that don't match?
Right. Well, like I said, it's an investment. So if somebody does, even if they do like a 28-day program or something like that, and they get through that 28-day program and they haven't gained they haven't had any success, whatever success we're looking to measure in 28 days, if they haven't had that success or they hurt themselves, we hear that a lot from people. Is like, oh, I did this and I got hurt. Not from our clients, but from other people when they come in, to us, they're like, oh yeah, I did this other program and I hurt myself. I think the biggest thing is somebody turns you away, they're not looking for your business. They're looking out for your best interest, right?
Yeah.
Person who's like, I train everybody, I can train anybody. Just come train with me. It's X dollars an hour. Let's get you going. They're looking for money. They're not looking for your well-being and your best interest and getting you success. So if you can turn them away, or if somebody turns them away and says, look, I think training would be great for you. You have definite goals. This is not the type of training that I do. I suggest you find somebody that specifically works in this niche or that sort of thing. Then you know that they're really there to help you. I take calls all the time when people call me wanting a personal trainer, and they're like, oh, I want to do competition. We've said that a couple times. We don't do physique competitive training. It's not our sweet spot. And so I tell them politely, here's 3 or 4 recommendations of trainers that I know that specifically work in this area that are great. I would go talk to them because I'm not going to be able to get them. I'm not.
You just don't want to deal with carb depleted people.
No, really.
I wouldn't either. They're horrible.
Oh my gosh. You want to talk about like bridezillas are nothing compared to like competitive trainers that had carbs and they've like sucked all the sodium out of their body. So they're water depleted and
dangerous.
Training. If you want to do it to say you did it, like Chris did, sometimes you just want to do it to say you did it once. It is a brutal, brutal process on your body. It's not healthy. You look great, but then you immediately go eat food after you're done with your competition, gain like 20 pounds because
it's crazy.
You have had no water, no food for like a week.
Yeah.
At that point.
You're not happy.
Yeah. So there's a whole psychological side to competition training. So I'm just gonna if you want to do it once, say you did it, but like be prepared for the psychological side of competition.
There is go ahead, Corey.
And real quick, in regards to turning people away, if they're willing to turn you away, just to be honest, if you fail in my personal training program, that looks bad on me. And
Absolutely.
I don't want to bring someone in that I know is potentially going to fail or isn't prepared to succeed and isn't coachable. So
yeah.
I don't want to bring someone in who I know is.
And you guys have a remarkable referral process going on that people refer clients to you all the time. So the reason I say, so there are a couple ways to start a journey. Like do you want to kind of like dabble in it? Is it something like, and you mentioned group classes. Someone could go out and find a group class somewhere, whether it's spinning or Orange Theory or something on the light end. If it's going to be you're hoping it's going to be a big lifestyle change. Be willing to find people and interview people that don't want you as a client. That's maybe that's a goal, to find people that, hey, I don't want to work with you. Like you're on the right track, because you really need to spend some time to find the right person for that journey. And if that's like a guy that fixes lawnmowers and you take your car over to him and say, oh yeah, I work on engines all the time.
Right.
Well, put a new transmission in that thing. You're like, well, it doesn't quite work that way. So
Right.
the investment in the time for somebody to go out and actually investigate personal trainers, see if there's a relationship there. And quite honestly, you guys are great people. You're very easy to talk to and very approachable. But if you sit down with somebody and they don't have time for you, they're distracted, they're on their phone, don't expect that your training. I heard it one not too long ago that a personal trainer was opening up their mail, like checking their mail in a personal training session.
Yeah.
So like, how does that even work? How does that acceptable in anybody's mental?
No, that's terrible. Oh, there's stories like that. Yeah, I mean, you want somebody who's going to sit down with you. Like, if you call and say, I'm interested in training with you, I'm interested in investing my time and my money with you, I'd like to get to know you. They should equally give you the time of day to sit down and have an engaged, focused conversation. They need to listen to what you need. When we sit down with a client for the first time, before we've even decided if we're a good fit or we're going to work together, I mostly just listen. I have a few questions to kind of pull some of the stuff out of them, but really I'm just sitting there and listening and writing notes because I need to know what they're dealing with. It's like my favorite thing we hear all the time. We have a nutrition component, and some trainers do, some trainers don't. But people will be like, I eat pretty healthy. And so I said, so what does that look like? What's a typical day, look like? And well, I wake up and I have a smoothie in the morning. Perfect. Then for lunch, I'll have a salad. Then dinner, I'll eat, like steak and a potato and some broccoli. And I'm like, okay, what about snacks in between? Oh yeah, snacks. Well, I really love potato chips. And so about 3 o'clock every day, I eat a bag of potato chips. And then I'm tired, so I go to the candy jar at work and I'll have 4 or 5, maybe 10 mini little, bite-sized Snickers, so small. And then, I have a lot of meetings, so sometimes there's donuts in the morning, and so they are doing well when they're making choices, but they're letting a lot of different other influences influence their day, and they're not calculating that in their mind. So you're like, okay, I think you understand what eating healthy is because you gave me 3 really healthy meals, but you don't understand how much you're influenced by outward environment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Like I had a salad. What kind of salad did you have? Well, a bacon ranch crispy chicken salad.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
No, don't do that. And that kind of brings me to if I'm at home, and you guys have been in the industry with combined experience for decades. So if somebody's at home and you could say, hey, these are some things that you can do without going to get without starting a group class, without interviewing personal trainers, what are a few key things that you see that virtually everybody can do to start feeling better, looking better, operating better? What are the few things that you guys see on a regular basis, like everybody should be doing more of these things?
Yeah.
So one thing that's right off the top of my head, and this is the biggest thing I see, is cutting out processed sugar. So anything that comes in a bag, a box, or a can, you can try to get rid of that.
So everything from yesterday, Valentine's Day, everything cut.
Right, exactly. And I'm guilty as anyone, right? It's her fault. She brought me.
Hey, what? Balance. It's all balance.
Right. No,
we're all about
absolutely,
balance.
Absolutely. You have some candy.
One day.
Please. Have some candy. But the biggest problem I see with people one of the biggest problems I see is people eating processed sugar. It spikes your insulin. Insulin is a fat-storing hormone. So if you have consistently high insulin all the time, you're going to consistently keep storing fat. So if you can really decrease your insulin levels and decrease those sugars, you'd be a lot better off.
Yeah. The one thing that pretty much all of us, unless you're in a wheelchair, you can walk. Like, we have a beautiful world out there. Start walking. I have so many clients that have come to me and they're like, 2 years ago, I decided I was done with this. And I got out and I walked. And I walked a block. And then I walked 2 blocks. And then I walked 3 blocks. And before I knew it, I was walking 3 miles a day. It became part of my lifestyle. You don't need a fancy gym or anything. We've got a beautiful world out there. You guys, your clients are kind of all over the world, but you're lucky in Arizona where it's you walk in the wintertime. Mm-hmm. In the summertime, you walk inside because it's too hot to go out.
Mm-hmm. True. Very true.
You can walk to Starbucks. If you need a goal at the end of it, like find the closest Starbucks. Maybe it's 1.5 miles away. Walk to Starbucks. Make that your routine. But get out and just move and just start walking. I'd say from a movement standpoint, anybody can do it. It costs literally no money. You don't need any fancy devices. You don't need a TV, a computer, a phone. You could bring back the Walkman and just have a cassette tape with
we just dated ourselves right there because I know what a Walkman is.
Chris is going to make you a personalized mixtape that'll be in your next Lularoe order.
How about that? That's the craziest thing, right? It's a tape. What's a tape? It's back in the days of almost 8 tracks. I had some of those as a kid too.
Ooh,
yeah. This is authentic. I don't color that. That's legit right there. That's awesome. So start walking, just start moving, go out and walk. And inevitably, that's kind of like your homework anyway. It's not like you get a trainer, you spend 2-3 hours a week in a gym and then presto changeo, magic wand on the head and all of your goals are achieved. So there's going to be some homework. Yeah, exactly. There's going to be some homework anyway. So refined sugars and start walking is kind of the base level of, hey, just give that a shot right now and see if that works.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And what, guys, if anybody wanted to get in touch with you guys, what is the best way to do it?
Yeah. So, Chris, like you said, I'll put this contact information below. You can find us on Facebook. Trivida Health is our Facebook. So Facebook.com/Trivida Health. And you can find us. We share a lot of great content on our Facebook page. We put recipes up there that link back to our blog. We put health tips, exercise tips. So there's lots of great content. So give us a like. We love all the likes. That's always helpful. If you want to give us a call, our telephone number is 720-428-8312. Myself and Andy are one of our personal trainers, and Corey, we're here 6 days a week. So generally, you can grab one of us on the phone. If we don't answer, we may be tied up with a couple of clients. Feel free to leave a message. I do try and get back to everybody and just support however we can. We do have a really amazing referral network nationwide. I know a lot of trainers that we've met through different things that we've done, different certification courses and stuff like that. So chances are, if you have a question about functional medicine, healthcare, medical care, training, nutrition, I have somebody in your state or in your area that I can ask and get a referral for you. So feel free to reach out. We just want to spread health and spread love and wellness kind of throughout the world. That's why any practitioner, personal trainer, nutritionist, medical practitioner, it's what we all want. We just want the world to be healthier. So awesome. Share the love and get you connected with the right person. And then our website is www.trivida.com.
Excellent.
So ways to get in touch with us.
I will put all that, all that stuff in the description below for the video. And I'd ask a favor, if you guys reach out to Corey and Meghann and you do live in Seattle and you have a pretty good idea that you're not going to be driving there 2-3 days a week, at the very least you could do is like their Facebook page and show them some love on there, or give them a review. If you talk to them, give them a review on Facebook or wherever they have those reviews. Maybe I'll post a link that as well and spread the love a little bit. So
that'd be awesome.
You guys are rock stars. The Savvy Pants Lularoe family thanks you for your time, and we'll keep in touch, and maybe we'll do some follow-up videos that are maybe more specific to certain things.
Yeah. I'd love we could do a stretching video. We could do all kinds of things. So,
dude, awesome. I could talk for days on some of this stuff. So
that's excellent. And you guys are.
I'm holding it all back, man. I got a word vomit all over you.
We're just wetting the beak a little bit, and then just bam.
A monthly live Lularoe health webinar.
There you go. We'll be the healthiest group out there in all of
Perfect.
That is super. Well, you guys are awesome. I appreciate your time. I know you've got clients backed up for the rest of the day, so really appreciate it. And we will be in touch. Contact information below. And I appreciate your time, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure's mine. See ya.
Bye.